right, y'all. This is our take. This is Mark, the moderator.
Banks.com. The game is the game always.
Leaf is only family. Brooklyn forever. Bring the old Mark back.
Yo, AV the process. Shout to Sky Zoo. All the brilliant things. Go cop that.
All right, y'all. So I got to ask a question. Do anybody have a problem with the MVP award being handed to Nikolai Jokovic, or Joker, as everybody calls him? Do you think?
I'm not gonna have you disrespect my man like that, son.
Yo, listen, man. Listen. He's a joke. All right, but the question is, do you think that he deserved the MVP?
Regular season wise, yes. Based off of how many candidates we had that got injured, to some degree, he won it by default. You know what I mean? He was the most.
Oh, explain that, Avery. Explain that. Explain that. No, I gotta hear that.
He stayed the healthiest during the season, and he put up the most consistent numbers. Let's call it what it is.
Then what's the default?
If Embiid stays healthy, in my opinion, I think Embiid walks away with that. That's my opinion.
I disagree.
Of course you're going to disagree. I know you're going to disagree because Joker is your man. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If CP3, if they really evaluated MVP like they should, you got to say CP3 technically should have been MVP, period. But again, I think CP3 missed some games, and his numbers weren't.
No, he missed 2 games, I think, for the season.
His numbers weren't totally out there. That's the problem.
CP missed more than 3 games.
Absolutely, he missed more than 3 games.
CP missed close, maybe a tad over 10.
But what I'm saying is that's what I think the problem is. And they were saying, I mean, I'm not trying to change the conversation, but they were saying that in this shortened season, there actually have been more injuries this season. There was some stat that showed that there were more injuries. So do I think he deserved the award in the regular season based off the criteria that the NBA has? Yes. But I believe that he won it by default because of the amount of games that the other candidates played.
Okay, anybody else?
I could agree with Avery. I do think that, stats-wise, it would have been a fight between him and Embiid. I just think what he does for his offense on a whole, if we're talking stats, like a big man shooting 56% from the field and giving you 8 assists, we don't see that a lot. So that would have been my nod for him. But I agree with everything else Avery said. I don't think he missed the regular season game. He put up consistent numbers. He was one of the top on leaders in triple doubles. I think he might have ended second behind Westbrook, of course. But if dudes played more games, it would have definitely been a tighter race. Y'all know I feel CP should have won just for his impact on the Suns, but it is what it is.
I just want to throw something out there since y'all talk about defaults. LeBron was ahead of him in the race before the ankle. Harden was ahead of him before the hamstring. Embiid was ahead of him before the leg injury, and there was one other person ahead of him as well before they got injured. Just want to throw that out there. Go ahead, Banks.
The best ability is availability, and you got to be out there to win it. No, I don't got a problem with Jokic winning the award. I think I agree with Avery. I think if Embiid plays the entire season, he walks away with that award. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a problem with him winning it, but I don't even want to say this, but I got a newfound respect for Joel Embiid, man. This dude is a problem. Nobody can hold this dude. When he puts his head down and he decides that I'm the best player on the court, there's nothing you could do with this dude. If he played all 72, he wins the MVP going away. But no, I do not have a problem with Jokic winning the award. He was consistent, played every game. I'm not mad at it. It's a regular season award.
Joel Embiid lowered his shoulder last night in the second half and went over 12. Well, go ahead.
He was hurt. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And he still went out there hurt and played well defensively. I'm not an Embiid fan, but watching him play, the biggest play for me, sorry, off topic, but is Capella caught like a alley-oop dunk and screamed. Joel Embiid went right back down and dunked on him and looked him dead in his face like, you got anything to say?
Listen, I'm just kind of confused because how do you not have a problem with a guy that we clearly see the impact when you talk about value, the impact of Chris Paul, what he did with Phoenix and what he's still doing consistently from the regular season into the playoffs have shown his value, his ability to carry a team and lead a team at the same time. I bring up leadership because once again, when a dude gets frustrated and mentally cracked, that says a lot as well. To me, CP3, if anybody was going to get it after all the injuries, everything that happened, it should have been Chris Paul. I was saying this for a while. Chris Paul, for some reason, is not getting his flowers. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but this league has something out for Chris Paul. I don't know what he did, and for him to be the president of the players union, for him to be involved as much as he is, for this to be seen, I still wonder, because to me, hands down, Chris Paul, he didn't have to put up 30 points and all of that. The winning, the assists, consistency, leadership, to me, that leads me to say Chris Paul over Joker. The only thing Joker to me did that he did last year, he stayed healthy. He put his same numbers up, but at the end of the day, we seen Denver being where they are. We didn't see Phoenix being where they are.
But Mark, I feel you.
Hold on, real quick. I mean, I get it because I like CP3 too and everything, but the Denver Nuggets lost their second best player, and they didn't really dip in the standings after that. So
because Austin Rivers stepped up, Michael Porter Jr. stepped up, they made up for the absence.
No. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I
didn't say if. Well, hold on. Where's the if at? Where did I say if? I said Michael Porter Jr. stepped up, Austin Rivers stepped up. That's not an if. Those are facts.
So you giving them the credit and not giving Joker the credit for that.
Listen, I said Joker did the same thing he did last year. I said now once again, I said they didn't lose numbers off of Murray because two other players stepped up. Is that factual? Yes or no?
Okay.
Because truthfully, let's be honest. Murray wasn't the point guard for that team. He was a scorer for them, but Joker was running the offense. So
he was still the best player on the team.
So and two players stepped up in his shoes and filled those shoes. That's what teams do.
Right.
And here's something that's not being said. Everybody is talking about this Jamal Murray injury. Yes, it was a big injury. But Jamal Murray wasn't having a great season.
He wasn't playing that great this year. Yeah, he
wasn't
Another good
point at all. Another good point.
He wasn't playing that great.
So as I said, and that's why I said I know two players stepped in and made up the difference. But the media kept the narrative as, oh, they lost Murray.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. Whoa, I don't watch a whole bunch of sports media, but I didn't see that narrative out there like that. I didn't see. They were missing. I just saw the greatness of Jokic. I didn't see, hey, they're missing their, their
every telecast they brought it up when they're talking about the MVP. Murray name not being there came up. This was a narrative that had stayed there. No one delved into Murray's numbers to look at that. Murray wasn't having a great season.
They actually, I feel like they played better after he left, but that's a whole nother. Actually, Michael Porter played better after he left.
Michael Porter definitely played better.
100%. I said Michael Porter stepped up.
Just mentioning CP3, unfortunately, just from a voting aspect, I get the leadership thing. I'm 100% with you. Problem is the voting don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? The voting doesn't work off the accord of let's look at CP3 and his leadership. It's more let's look at somebody who hasn't won the award, who's having a great season number wise, and who's on a decent team.
No,
you know what I mean?
Time out. I'm not letting you do that. Because if that's the case, no. Because if that was the case, Dame Lillard would have won it last year. Just like Leaf keep bringing it up. Dame Lillard would have won it last year if that's the case. Because if you look at his numbers, you look at the team, you look what Portland did, he would have won it.
Mark, you want to tag me in?
Yo, there you go, Leaf. Go ahead.
Let's keep it a buck. It's a popularity contest.
That's all I'm trying to say. The voting doesn't work the way that we think. You understand? We have logic with that.
just like Dame said, hold on. My numbers is the same numbers last year as Steph's is this year. And I shot better from the field. But I was told I couldn't be a finalist because Portland was the 8th seed. This year, 8th seed, Steph was a top 3 finalist for MVP. So it's who they want to be there. And we all know, Joker ball, but he's also white. And Mark, you're right. Chris Paul has done something to people in the NBA, and he's not liked by writers, reporters. I don't care what anyone tells me.
And Golden State was the 9th seed.
And we also know it's because he's not. You're right. Golden State was definitely a 9th seed.
100%.
He's not flashy. You know what I mean? He's not shooting from 39 feet away from the court, and that type of basketball isn't appreciated except for people that really love and understand the game. Like, so you see that and you appreciate what he brings to the court. But at the end of the day, man, it's a popularity contest, man. Popularity is always going to win out because when you're popular, they move the goalposts. One year, this person wins the MVP because their team had the best record and no one's seen that happen. Oh, the next year we're going off because this person had the stats for it. If we're gonna do that, if we're gonna go off stats, shit, Westbrook should be a finalist every year.
That 100%. But here's the main problem. The main problem is, that's what the point I was trying to make, that it doesn't work in the way that we think logically from, this guy showed great leadership or whatever the case is. First of all, you got the wrong people voting. I don't understand why the players don't vote who the MVP is. Or why the players
because there's bias. There's bias in it.
Okay, so then just have coaches vote. Whatever the case is.
It's bias in there as well.
No, you can't.
Reporters shouldn't either. Let me say that. Media shouldn't either, because there's bias there as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like
so where is there no bias? Everybody's biased.
Everybody has some type of bias.
No, without a doubt. But I think if there's a criteria that they can stick to, the problem is what Leaf is bringing up, the inconsistencies in their criteria. And I think that when you can't follow a format from year to year to year, that's why you get things, and that's why you have to question the award, because it's not consistent. That's my biggest issue about the MVP award. It's not consistently with the criteria.
But Mark, there is no criteria. There is no written law or other. All right, this is the criteria for you to be MVP. It is all media driven. At the game too, we got an MVP race. Like, come on, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Right.
So after game 10, we shouldn't be talking about who the MVP of the league is. You talk about and I always said, I know y'all disagree with me. I feel like there should be a regular season MVP. I'm sorry.
Oh, who disagrees with you? I said this a year ago.
I hate it.
I said this a year ago. Yo, hold on, wait. Let's listen, Avery. Who was the one that said that Doncic won the Rookie of the Year the first 2 months of the season?
Yeah,
okay, am I right or wrong?
100%.
Okay, no matter what anybody did, he was going to get that award just based off the first 2 months. His numbers went down in the second half of the season. Trey's went up, but they based things off of that first half, that first quarter. That's what they did. That's what they did. And these awards, and Avery, you hit it, and Lee said it. It's a popularity contest. It's who the league wants to steer the fans to. That's what they're doing. That's why you don't have a 3-time MVP yet. Because in a row, three years in a row, because the league wants to make sure that they move this award around so they can share that popularity, put that title to a player, and then pump them up. So what? They can get viewership. That's all this is about. That's why it's a skewed award and it's bullshit, because once again, we've seen several MVP races this year, and each time somebody went down, it was like, okay, we over here now. There's no criteria.
I just want to know who voted for Derrick Rose.
Like, what are you doing?
I want to know who voted for Derrick Rose.
There's a joke.
Kills it. It kills it. Listen, that's all it does. It kills it. But now, let me say this. And here's the major problem. 5 years from now, that MVP award is hailed up, is thrown up as this great award, as this great feat. And I'm going to throw it out there. I don't see how fans do not get it. Steve Nash. Now, I'm not blaming Steve Nash personally, but the fact that Steve Nash has 2 MVPs in an era that has Shaq, LeBron, Kobe in it, there's no way in the world that you have a Steve Nash for 2 years in a row as the best player in the league. That's ridiculous.
Listen, my only time I really question MVPs is this. So, like, if Joker doesn't play at this level for like the next 4 to 5 years, then I think you could question. But if a person wins the MVP and they consistently playing on that level, I got no problem with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because some people do deserve that award. You feel what I'm saying?
Excuse me a minute, Lee. But hold on, excuse me a minute. Because Banks just said something. He said that's not what the award is as being named the best player. So if that's the case, Banks, if it's not the best player, what is it then?
It's the most valuable player. It's named the most valuable player for a reason.
So, okay, most valuable to who?
Again, if we're talking about best player in the league, LeBron would have 12 of them. So they did this. It's semantics. It's a wording game that they use to give the award to who they want to. You know, they give it to people because most valuable does not necessarily mean best player.
It doesn't. But if that's the case, then we shouldn't even have the award because
what you believe most valuable means. You know,
I'm going to say it to you. Leaf said it the other day. Everybody got value. Everybody's value is different. Everybody's value is different.
There's a valuable player. There's a most valuable player on every team, bro. Philly is not the same team without Joel. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, the Lakers is not the same team without Bron. Every team has a most valuable player, bro. So that's what you have a league MVP.
But wait, let's be honest though. You see, here's where the goalposts move. We started out watching this sport with that title, and that title meant the best player. Am I right or wrong?
Exactly.
Until later on, did it now move to, well, it's about who is the most valuable to their team or this or that. But it was always about the MVP was about the best player.
That's not true, though. That's not true.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree because, again, Mark, you grew up watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was the best player in the league, Kareem would have 8 MVPs, right? There was a stretch in time when he was the best player in the league by far. That's what I'm saying. So you can't say it was always about the best player when going back that far, the best player didn't get it every year.
But that's what the award stood for. Now, the best player didn't get it, but it stood for the best player in the league. That's how we was always, just like any team you ever played on. If you're telling me that if your team handed out the MVP trophy to one of your teammates, you're telling me that he wasn't the best player?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that MVP, the way it's worded, is subjective. Like Lee said, everybody has value.
No one is disagreeing there.
I think we coin it as being the best player in the league. I think that's obvious. Again, the MVP is overstated, kind of like what Leaf says. Like, yeah, every team technically has an MVP. So it comes down to basically which team's MVP shine the most this season. That's essentially
who made the biggest impact.
That's it. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't say who is the best player in the league by virtue of just this award, but that's what we made it into.
No, Avery, that's what it used to be. I'm sitting here telling you, it used to be that.
The best.
Nah, I agree. It was because Banks just made the greatest point, like when he brought up Kareem, bro. Like if we're going off of the best player, Kareem has more than 6 MVPs, bro.
No, hold on. But see, Michael but you're saying two different things, though. What you're saying is this. What you're saying is this. You're saying is that the award meant one thing, but what I'm saying to you is the winner wasn't always getting what they deserved. The league made sure that Michael Jordan wasn't getting 6 MVPs. They made sure of that. That's why, but the award always was meant to be given to the best player. no matter where you went. If you went to Rucker, you went to West Fourth, the MVP trophy was handed out to the most outstanding player at that time. It wasn't just this. You never seen a dude get a MVP award on a losing team in a tournament. Okay.
So, all right. So, Mark, just for clarification, so you're saying yes, you don't have to be the best player overall, but you're okay with a person being the best player that year, winning the MVP. Your problem is you feel people are getting the MVP and they're not the best player that year.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. They're passing the award around because they don't want to keep it one place. They want to pass it around and share it, and then they make narratives up so that person can, quote unquote, be justified in getting it. But ultimately, it is the best player of that year. And yes, LeBron, Jordan, these dudes should have been getting it every single year, but they don't want to do that. That's why the award is skewed, because of the problem is you don't want to give it to the best player, which it used to stand for. It did used to stand for the best player, but Kareem couldn't.
My son Chuck deserved his one, so I'm not going to let you do that.
Listen, I say it again. But if you look and break it down, I'll say it again. When was Charles Barkley ever better than Michael Jordan? If you're giving it to the best player, which the award stood for.
I think that year, he like, yo, bro, he was like he was the best player that year in the regular season. That year, that goes back to them moving the goalposts, right? Because he went to Phoenix. He changed that franchise around. If I'm correct, I believe they had the best record in the league that year, or second best record.
I'll have to look it up.
The best Phoenix, right?
We had the best record in the league that year.
Yes, I think so.
He put up stellar numbers. You feel what I'm saying? So that year, he was the best player. Was he better than Michael Jordan? No. So I do agree with you on that. But I can use Steph for instance, right? I don't think Steph deserved that first MVP. The second one, I think that year, yes, he was the best player on the court during that time span. The first one, I think, should have went to James Harden. I think James Harden was the best player that year. You feel what I'm saying? So once again, it's a popularity contest. It's who they want. It's a whole bunch of variables that we know makes no sense. It's because it's not consistent.
Let's come back. We're in overtime. So, listen, we'll be right back, y'all. This is our take. Peace.
Peace.